Okay, I was struggling with the lighting because it kept on, the white balance was just completely off, but I fixed it, yay. So yeah, I'm doing my hair. As you can tell, it is easy for me to brush through my hair, and this is a rarity. Like, what? My curls, shit poppin'. You know what's in my hair? This is one of my black owned products, but I got the melanin hair care line. I got the, what is this called? The Melanin Twist Elongating Style Cream. So yes, I have that, and I also have Shea Moisture. I know some of you guys don't like Shea Moisture, but this is the only stuff that really helps with detangling my hair. Until I find another one by an actual black-owned business, I'm gonna keep using this. But this is the Raw Shea Butter Extra Moisture Detangler with sea kelp and argan oil, or argan. Is it argan or argan? Don't know. Heard it several different ways. But yeah, look at my curl pattern. I don't know if you can tell, but this is my curl pattern. My pattern. But yeah, this is not wet enough. But usually, like, I don't know, I've been washing my hair more often since it's the summer. During the winter, I can get away with washing my hair like every 2 weeks. That may sound gross to some of you guys, but I'm not producing any oil, and it's not like I'm rubbing my hair in dirt. And I make sure I don't use any products that are like that will clog my pores or anything. So mind your business. Also, what is this? This is something I stole from my mom. This is the Manuka honey and Mafara oil intensive hydration hair mask with African rock fig and baobab oil. I don't know, but this works good, I guess. I don't know, I've been just using it because I found it in my mom's drawer. And what's hers is mine, and what's mine is mine. Okay, let me stop. I really like Brie Larson. Like, I never really, I don't know, was like checking for her, because I don't know. I guess I never really was her demographic, or wasn't really into the films that she was in. Like, I mean, I saw that she did Captain Marvel. She did a great job with that role. And she probably has more films coming out with Captain Marvel, which is cool. And then, oh, I did like her in Scott Pilgrim. I like her version of Black Sheep. It's not on, I always listen to it on YouTube. It's not on, she should do a cover on her YouTube channel. I actually subscribe to her YouTube channel because I like her. She's so, like, down to earth and normal. Who would have thought? Look at, my curls are just popping. Also, yes, I'm missing this part on purpose. I'm starting a lock. I have a lock. No reason actually in particular as to why I'm doing that. I just wanted to. And that's my business. So, yes. Like, and also my curls are just, they haven't looked so vibrant in a long time. I think the water when I was living in Orlando, because I used to work at Disney. I have a few videos up of me while I was at Disney. I never vlogged in the parks. I should have, because like I went to the parks all the time because it was free for me because I was working there. But oop, not the wrong part. Oops, it's really hard to distinguish between my lock and maybe I need to retwist my roots there. I don't know, but what was I talking about? Oh my god. Okay. Ow. That is so thin. You ever just like look, what is that? Everyone like kind of has that thing where like their hair is like more thin here and here. Well, more so on this side. Maybe I used to like part my hair a lot on this side or something a long time ago. Or like, I used to get a perm when I was like through most of my life. Like I started getting perms when I was like 4 years old. It was not by choice. It was just my mom Just thought it'd be easier for all of us to have a perm, because not only did she not want to be doing my hair all day, but because I have long, thick, easily tangled hair. And also you gotta think, the products we have now are not the same products we had back then. All we had back then was pink lotion and freaking Blue Magic. So especially since we lived overseas, we were living in Japan for a majority of my like really young ages. I was living in Japan since, well, from 1 to 5, so those were very important years of child progression, I don't know, but I actually remember my experience living in Japan. But yeah, my mom, she wanted us to not have to worry about like our hair, and also not worry about like being teased and lose opportunities because of our afro textured hair. So she thought the best thing to do was assimilate us into this Eurocentric world. So, but you know, now we can reclaim our roots, and not even in a figurative way, but in a literal way, which I'm so proud of. I cut my hair, I did the big chop because I'm impatient and just crazy. And I did the big chop in 2014 or 15, I don't remember. But I remember it was, I wrote it in a calendar somewhere, but I cut my hair off and I went to school. I was in high school, and everyone looked at me crazy. They're like, oh my god, she's having a Britney moment. And I was like, I am perfectly well, y'all. I'm okay. I'm not having a mental breakdown or anything. I just want to cut my hair and go natural, because I feel like this perm, this long, actually it wasn't even that long at the time. I've always had long hair even with a perm, but towards the end it started to get real thin and unhealthy, and they kept on having to, every time we grow out, they had to cut it again. Because you know, when you get a perm, it never just ends up on your scalp. They put it on your scalp and then they end up putting it all the way down to your ends. And like, you're re-perming that part over and over again. So you are opening those, you are breaking those protein bonds in your hair strands, which is making it more and more brittle. That's why my hair kept on breaking off at the ends. So my hair kept getting shorter and shorter. It went from being like here to here to here to like right here. And like, I was like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of having freaking chemical burns on my scalp. So I cut my hair off in my bedroom without my parents knowing. I'm freaking crazy. And if you're black and you come from a black household, you know how freaking how much hair means in our community. So people are like, girl, is you good? And they're like, because my hair was not looking cute like the first week, I must admit. Like, I just slapped a headband on, my hair was like this long. And people were like, yeah, that's cute. Girl, no, I know it's not cute. But you know what? I feel liberated. I feel free. I feel happy. And I was happy. And I had one of my old friends, she was like, let's do a photo shoot with your new hair. And I still have those pictures, and I think I put a message on it. It was so like, oh my gosh, just the message because I put it on Instagram or Facebook. I think it was Facebook because I wasn't really using Instagram at the time. I don't even think I had an Instagram at the time. I was a late bloomer. Not bloomer, I just didn't really care about social media back then. Still kind of don't. I just post whenever I feel like it. Follow me if you want to. We'll have all my socials in the description box. But I was just not I posted something and it was saying about like I'm glad to kind of like be free and like reclaim myself, and I feel so like happy that I like cut my hair and I feel liberated and stuff like that. And I think it was very inspiring to a lot of people, because within that year and the next year, a lot of black girls at my school started cutting off their hair. So I'm not trying to say I'm a trendsetter or anything, but you know, proof's in the pudding, no matter what. And you know what's crazy? Whenever I first cut my hair, I had no clue what my texture was gonna look like. Like, I was sneakily kind of testing the waters with like the back of my hair, because you know, your kitchen, it's always gonna be a little nappy, you know. Even when you got a perm, it's always gonna be a little bit, you know, the thickets. So I kind of cut a few hairs back there, and I was like, ooh, I got a little curl, a little coil. So I was like, okay, I got little curls going on. I wasn't sure like what my texture was, because mind you, I have been getting a perm since I was 4 years old. So I didn't know what my curl texture looked like. I don't really, yeah. And like looking back at pictures, my hair was always in like, you know, those little twists, kind of like this with the barrettes at the end, you know, the little plastic beads or whatever, like, yeah, you know, little black girl things. But just like since I grew up in the early 2000s, I was born in 98. But it was just like so weird being not knowing what my natural state of my hair is. And you just think about it now and you're like, wow, you didn't know who you really were. Like, you didn't know a part of your own body, what that was like. I mean, it's not, I mean, you don't know what your like bones look like unless you like freaking broke your bones or something, and like no one really wants to know what their freaking lungs look like. But not knowing what your, something so like apparent and common to see every day, your hair, how it naturally grows and flows, was just like, wow, I didn't even know that simple thing about myself. And so being able to cut it off and like being like, wow, this is me. This is who I actually, who I naturally am. This is me in my naturalist form. So yeah, it was kind of like amazing, weird, surprising. And then seeing that I had so many different curl textures all over my head as I cut my hair. And mind you, I didn't have any products that were for natural hair at the time, because I think I was driving, yeah, I was driving, I had a car, which was like my mom's old car, but, or no, I didn't have a car, I just used my mom's car sometimes, yeah. And so, yeah, because my parents didn't get a new car until 2015, the following year. So I didn't really know what was going on with this whole situation. I think my mom has like a piece of my hair, because the way that I cut my hair, I wanted it to be so even that I like, I took a bunch of those tiny little rubber bands, like the little tiny ones, and I just sectioned my hair off in like squares all over my head. Like I was about to do like the banding, the rubber band method with like box braids, but I was doing that to prepare to cut my hair. And then I stretched out the rubber bands to a certain length, so it was to where my hair was unpermed. Well, not permed yet, because my mom was probably planning on getting my hair permed within the week or something. And I just cut it off at every little section. Cut it off, and then if there was any other straggly bits, I just kind of just trimmed along the way, wet my hair, put some random cream in it. It was not a curling cream or anything. I didn't have anything like that. And then, so it didn't help my hair curl. It just kind of like didn't make it look dry, I guess. It wasn't a water base, so it definitely didn't do anything for me. But I had like a little bit of curl going on, a little curl action. Wait, let me just do this part and then worry about this side. But yeah, it was just wild. And then I was so nervous whenever I went to school the following day, because I did it on a Sunday right after church. And so we didn't have to go back to church, so I knew, I was like, this is kind of the perfect day, because I'm not going to be bald-headed at this church. People aren't going to be asking questions, asking them all right. So I did it. And my parents didn't know. I put a headscarf on, or was it a bonnet? Something. I put something on my head so no one could tell that I cut my hair at the house, at the Hizzy. I think it was just me. Yeah, it was just me and my mom and dad. My brother was in college at Southern Miss, and my sister was in college at Alabama A&M. So yeah, see how like my curls, they do something different everywhere. What's that about? We don't like to be consistent, apparently. Like, what the heck is this? Like, that's a wave. But yeah, it was 24 hours that my parents did not know that I was in fact a bald-headed girl. And so when I went to school, I was in band at the time. I went to school, I had my little headband on, and my hair this long, kind of dull looking because I didn't have the right products. It was curly. I had like my little, you know, my little spirals going on in my head, but they weren't looking, you know, juicy. I think I put some more oil in it, but it was like that oil that you put on your hair, that, was it chai oil or sheet oil, where you put on your hair before you straighten it. Like, I had that because we didn't have any of the right stuff, because no one in the house was natural besides my dad and my brother. But they used that, they had short hair, so it wasn't like the right products. But yeah, I step into the school. Actually, I think before I told anyone, before I got to school, I told some people that I cut my hair, and they're like, what? And I said, you'll see when I get to school. And so I'm in band, and we have a parking lot in the band, well, by the band hall. And so I come in with my instrument, my backpack, and my friend picked me up that morning, and we go into the band hall, and all the people in my section, I played trombone, they all look at me and they're like, Tyra, what? And then of course they put their fingers in my head, and they're like, oh my god. And Victoria, who was my friend at the time, she's like, do your family know? And I said, nope. Because she had been natural. She had been natural since like 8th grade or something. So she'd been natural for maybe like 2-3 years. So she had like a little bit of length on her. But I've been saying it for a long time, and her parents let her do it, but mine didn't. They told me to wait until I was 18. I was 17 at the time, and I didn't care. I did what I wanted. Still do. But yeah. Anyways, kids, respect your parents. Don't do what I did. Just have a conversation with your parents. And yeah, so everyone's freaking out, and they're like, oh my god, Tyra. And then I tell them, like, yeah, my parents don't know yet. And they're like, your parents don't know yet? And I'm like, yeah, I just kind of like wore a headscarf all day. And so yeah, everyone's like texting me like towards the end of the day, and they're like, how you feeling? Are you scared? And I'm like, oh, whatever, the deed's been done. I can't do anything else. I'm gonna just be like, hey y'all, because my parents get home before I do from work, and so I get dropped off. My friends are texting me, waiting for me to text them back to tell them how things went. My mom, I'm like, hey, and she's like, well, no, before I got to the house, I texted her, I said, don't be mad at me. And she's like, why? And I was like, you'll see when I get home. Because me and my mom, we have a good relationship. I don't really get in trouble like that. I'm the youngest, so of course I don't really get in trouble like that. But I knew that she was very protective of my hair. I don't know why, because it was looking a little crusty, let's be honest. But you know, a lot of times people are length struck rather than health struck. I'd rather have healthy hair than long, straggly looking hair, you know? I don't want these gone by the wind strands. So, I text her, and I say, hey, don't be mad at me. And she's like, oh God. And my mom, it's funny, because like, she thought that I just got in trouble at school or something, which is wild, because why would I get in trouble at school? I was a good kid. I hardly ever got in trouble. The only time I ever like got detention and stuff was because I just talked too much. I was too yappy. I just like to talk to everybody, and it wasn't like disrespectful or anything. I just big mouth gal. But I was just a bit as a chatty girl, and that was about it. I never really like got in trouble for anything else besides like maybe not doing my homework. But I was a good student. I would get A's and B's. Sometimes I would get a C because, you know, it happens. we're human here. But overall, it's a good student. And so she was like, I didn't tell her, but I warned her, like, hey, I did something. Don't be having a heart attack on me, okay? I'm giving you this warning. And so she is like, okay, I'll see you when you get home. And so I walk into the house and I say, hey, Mom. And she's like, hey. And she's in the living room. I'm in the foyer. And I walk up through the little hallway to the living room area. And I said, hey, look. And she turned around from her TV. She's looking at TLC or something. And then she's like, and she smiles at first. And she's like, what? And then she's like, is that a wig? That's a wig. And then I was like, no, I cut my hair. And she's like, and her face went from like joking to like, you're joking, right? And so she comes up to me and she put her hand in my hair and she like pulled on my hair. I was like, wow, really? It's my hair. Let's be honest, this is my hair. I know I'm only 17, I'm not grown yet, but like, dang, I can't even control the things that grow in my head. And she was like really mad and she like, oh my God, and like freaking out. And then she's like, you cut off all your hair? And I said, yeah, I wanted to go natural. And so my dad's upstairs taking a nap because I guess he was tired or whatever. And she brings me into their bedroom and she's like, Kevin, look what she did. And he like turns around and looks at me. He's like, what happened to your eye? Ain't nothing wrong with my eye. He said, what happened to my eye? This man not paying attention to nothing. And then she's like, no, look at her hair. And then he's like, you cut your hair? He didn't really care, to be honest. My dad could care less about my hair. It grows back anyways, like, who cares? But my mom, she was real hated about it. So she was like really mad at me for like a week, didn't really want to talk to me. And eventually she took me to Walmart to get me some hair products, but she said I had to pay for them. And I was like, okay, I got a little cash money. What do you mean? I never spend money. You guys pay me sometimes and I put it in my bank account. So, you know, first thing I did, as every beginner natural does, I need some more water, I bought Cantu. And if you're natural, you know, Cantu, everyone gets Cantu at first. That's like the beginner, like the passage of natural like hair. And so I had my little Cantu, I had my little curling cream, I had my little oil. Actually, I still buy that oil, but I'm gonna stop buying it because we support black businesses now. But I had this olive miracle anti-breakage formula olive and tea tree growth oil treatment. So I had that and the I think those were the only two products that I had. And so I washed, and I think I bought like a conditioner and a shampoo or something, and I think it ran me like $15 or something. It stopped. Okay. And it like ran me like about $15. And so I was like, whatever. I mean, I don't really spend my money, but I'd rather spend my money on this than have my hair permed and have to be sit under that dryer for hours on end and have my hair pressed to the smithereens. So I was content with that $15 worth of product on my passage to my natural hair, well, my natural hair journey. So, why does that look straightish? That freaks me out. Cause I don't ever straighten my hair. I've only straightened my hair once since I cut off my hair. So, anyways, back to the story. So, bought my little Cantu, my little African Pride oil, and bought my I don't even know what kind of conditioner and deep conditioner I bought, but it was just, you know, something cheap and easy, universal, especially for people that first go natural. And yeah, I bought that. Got to the house, washed my hair, put that stuff in it, and my hair was popping. Okay, it was popping. My hair was curly, and my mom could not lie. She knew it looked good. Okay, it looked good, even though like my shape was not cute. I don't think I had the head shape for short hair. My sister said it was cute on me, but I think she's a lie. Anyways, but I had my little curl. And no one could tell me nothing. I was like, okay, I got a little thing going on. Want to get some length on you? I don't know why the ends look like this. My roots are so puffy, and then my ends will clump. They'll clump together, and it looks so crazy. But yeah, I went to school after I got my hair products, and people were like, "Oh my God, I love your hair." See, before, whenever my hair was looking a little crusty, they'd be like, "Oh, I love your hair." But like now they're like, "Oh my God, I love your hair. It's so curly." And I'm like, "Yeah, thank you." Okay. Now y'all gonna jog my style and do it in a few months. I see you. But yeah, that was my natural hair journey. That's how I experienced going natural in the 2010s. I would do it again. 100% do it again. 10 out of 10 would do it again. And you know what's funny? Because like months later, my mom was like obsessed with my hair and like wanted me to try all these products and stuff like that. She'd be like, "Oh, I saw this, you should try that." Like she was my biggest fan. And then my sister, she went, my mom and my sister, they'd be like, "You know what was her name? She made perms and stuff." Very big black entrepreneur, one of the richest black women back in the 2020s, well 1920s, Madam C.J. Walker. And so they're like, "Madam C.J. Walker did not make the perm for me not to use it. As long as it's on the shelves, I'm gonna use it." Okay, 6 months later, my sister went natural. And then like a year later, my mom went natural, and my mom loves her hair. She dyes it blonde and stuff like that. And it's super short, like it's short, like short, like not even like maybe 2 centimeters long. And so yeah, I just think it's not enough. But yeah, they love it, and they love just like seeing what I do with my hair, because I'm a little creative with my hair. I like to switch it up. But yeah, oh, funny thing, my senior year, so this is the year after I went natural, this girl came up to me, she said, "Hey, is the rumor true?" And I was like, "What rumor?" And she's like, "That you had a anxiety attack or something, or a meltdown, and I went to the bathroom and cut my hair in the bathroom." No, sister girl, that's a lie. And she said, "Yeah, these freshmen told me that." I'm like, "Freshmen? I don't even have no freshman friends. What do you mean?" Not to be ageist or anything, but I just did not talk to them. So, because like, look, if I was upperclassmen, what am I look like talking to these kids? Them picnics or no, it was not to me. So they were just talking out the side of their neck, making stuff up, trying to be interesting. I was not trying to talk to nobody. I was friends with everyone. Me in high school, I was kind of a class clown. I was just, you know, real jovial, make jokes. But if you ever can for me, just know I'm gonna come back with it, with the quickness. But yeah, I was pretty jovial. I was really nice for the most part. I think I was really nice. I mean, I would just be roasting people left and right. Like if I thought that you deserved a roast, I would have roasted you. But you know what? It was all in good fun. But yeah, that's how I went natural. And don't do what I did. If you were in high school or middle school or whatever school you're in, and your parents don't want you to do natural, you know what? Whenever you move out the house, or I don't know, just be smart about it. Have a discussion with your parents. Tell them why it's important to you. I don't think that's big anymore right now, but like back in the 2010s, it was more of a thing of like, oh, she went natural. Oh, I could never do that. But now it's like, oh yeah, it's kind of the norm, which I'm so grateful for, because we've come so far in such a short amount of time. It's only been 6 years. Almost 6 years that I've been natural, and there's so many more products. I see people with my hair on TV. It's so cool. Like, I love whenever like I was joking that like, oh yeah, everyone went natural after me, but like it's so good to see that, like see people really accept their hair in its natural form. And I'm not saying that like people with perms don't like themselves, because if that's what makes you happy, if that's what makes you comfortable, kudos, more to you. But it's just especially like good to see the representation of girls with kinks and curls, of all different densities and porosities and curl patterns. So yeah, we've come a long way. And I think that has been for the better. But we still have more places to go, because some companies still think that natural hair and having locks is unprofessional and unkempt, which is very problematic, and that is stemmed in racism. But a lot of companies have steered away from that. So yeah, that's how I feel. I'm proud of my hair, my texture. Even if I had like freaking 2A hair or 4C hair, like I would still love my hair regardless, because it's really who I am, and it's what was given to me, and I'm thankful for it, and I love it. All right. That's all. I'm gonna throw on a cap and kind of edit a video, probably edit this one, and go about my business of washing my hair. But yeah, it was nice talking to you guys. That was my natural hair journey. In the beginning it was a bit crazy, but you know what? We made it through it, and we're thriving now. Okay. All right. Bye.